Okay, this is Dick Zondag from Jung Garden Center, Jung's Garden Doctor. We're talking to you from the outside of the garden center on this nice sunny day in March. And what we're going to talk about today is about some of the spring planted bulbs that we're going to be planting for summer bloom. The first thing we want to talk about are dahlias, and I've brought along some examples of the dahlias that we will be packaging up. And you can see from the plant, this is the stem that the plant grew on last year, and we're going to show you how to divide that dahlia so that you get two plants for every one that you kept from last year. Now the way that you do this in the fall is that you dig the dahlias, you wash them off a little bit so that they're nice and clean. Then you let them set out on a picnic table or on the driveway where you get some sun on them so they dry good, and then you just put them in a bushel basket or a paper bag with a peat-based soil or just straight peat moss on them. You moisten it maybe once a month just so that the dahlia doesn't dry out. And then when you are ready to plant them, you divide them. Now, dahlias are not like potatoes. Potato is actually a tuber. It has eyes on it. It's a piece of stem tissue, where dahlias are called tuberous roots. And what you have to have for them to grow is a piece of the stem tissue, which is this part right here. If you just take this one off and try to plant it, it wouldn't grow because there's no growing, there's no meristem for it to grow from. So I'm going to show you how we divide that. So I got my handy dandy knife here, and you want to divide it right down the middle so that you get a piece of the stem tissue with each piece that you want to plant. So try to do this so I don't. So you've got the stem divided, and part of it, you pull it apart, and now you've got two dahlias. Okay, and so then what you do, you maybe want to let this sit out overnight so that this cut surface callus is over, like you do with potatoes. But you know, when it's calloused over, then you just take a pot and you use I like to use a peat-based soil, sort of like in the flat here. And then you just put the dahlia root in the pot, and you just put the soil over top of it. You can leave the stem either above the ground, or you can actually bury it, and it will still throw out a shoot. Now I've got an example of a dahlia that I planted about 3 weeks ago in the greenhouse, and you can see already it's pushing some of the greens up, and in another month or so that will be ready to go into your garden. Now you don't want to plant a plant like this out until the danger of frost is gone, but by that time it will start pushing some buds so that you'll get flowers all summer long. And the more you cut from the dahlias, the better off you are. If you want one big one, you keep the side buds pinched off. If you want a lot more for bouquets and things like that, you cut the top one out. When it's done, it'll shoot out more blossoms. So, I mean, this is another dahlia root, and you can see already the bud is pushing out because it knows it's springtime. So we got two of them. Just going to set it aside, and here's another example of a dahlia root. And you've got the stem here, and you just cut it down the middle, and you try to cut it so that you don't, so that you don't cut too many of the tuberous roots off. Now, when the dahlia grows, the clump might even be bigger than this, and you can make 2, 3, or 4 divisions out of it, whatever you like. So now with dahlias in the fall, you want to let the tops die down. You can let it frost a little bit, and then when the leaves kind of start to turn brown, then you just cut that top off, leaving a stem, and then do what I tell you. Wash it, dry it, put it in a paper bag or a bushel basket or something with peat moss on it, just so it doesn't dry out. Okay, another bulb that we like for summer and especially in shade are begonias. And I brought an example of a begonia here. The begonia bulb has two sides to it. You can see that this bulb is already sprouting. You know, it's the top of the bulb is concaved and the bottom is convexed. And you can see where the roots came out. So top and bottom. Now the way you want to start these at this time of the year is you want to get a peat-based potting soil or a seed starting mix of some sort or another, and then you just put the bulb with the concave side down and the concave side up and the convex side down, and then you just cover it with a little bit of that peat-based soil. You don't have to have a whole lot over it, because what you're going to do is you're going to moisten the soil so that the bulb starts to grow, and when the top comes up, you take it out of this flat, and that's why you can put them right next to each other for starting them. When the top comes up, you take it out of this peat-based soil. You can use that soil for growing them on, but then you can take also a soil that has regular garden soil in it if you'd like, and you mix a third sand, a third peat moss or compost, and a third garden soil, and it makes a very good potting mix. And you put the bulb in that, and you just keep it in a sunny area, and then you wait until the danger of frost is gone, and then you can plant the begonia. Now the begonias and the caladiums, the gloxinias, those types of bulbs are started exactly the same. You'd put them in with a caladium. You can see where the leaf scars were, and the leaf scars should go up. With the gloxinia the same way. The bulb has leaf scars on the top of the bulb, so you put the other side down and you just cover it with peat. You can actually put this in a plastic bag after the soil is moist and put them in a warm spot. That also accelerates the start of the bulb. So, and then when it gets up a little ways, you just take it out of here and you can put it in a 4-inch pot or something like that and grow it on until it's ready to put outside. So that's a little bit about some of the summer flowering bulbs that we sell. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at info@jungseed.com and we'll get you the answers. So for this video, this is Dick Zondag, Jung's garden doctor, saying, we hope you have a beautiful yard from the bulbs that you grow.